We're excited to participate in the Skip Prosser Classic. Obviously, I never had a chance to work for Skip, but I was fortunate enough to meet him kind of throughout the recruiting process when I was a high school coach and an AAU coach. And the thing that you always go away, with Skip, obviously he was a great basketball coach, but just how good of a person he was, and how much he meant to each respective university, to Xavier University and to Wake Forest. We're glad that we get a chance to honor him tomorrow night at Wake Forest. Wake Forest will pose a lot of problems for us. They are a really long team. They're big. Sarr's a tremendous player. Childress is a tremendous player. They got a lot of guys back from the year before, so they have an experienced group. We expect that we're going to get their best shot. I think the keys to the game, we have to be able to control the glass, which, again, like I said, Wake has a big team. They're long. They're athletic. And then we have to be able to be really, really good in ball screen defense against Childress. He is their best scorer. He's a leading assist guy as well. We got our hands full in that regard.
True road games coming up. So for some of your newer guys going into some challenging environments, what do you expect?
Yeah, again, we're going to have to lean on our older guys, right? This will be the first true road game that we've had this year. And, we always kind of reference it to, going outside the wire mentality. It's going to be us against everybody in there, and sticking together. Through we're going to hit adversity. Whether Wake Forest goes on a run to start the game or later on in the game where they go on a run, they're going to go on a run at some point. How are we going to respond as a group? But this will be a great opportunity for us to grow as a team and get us ready for the Big East.
Matchup between Tyreek and their big man. How has preparation been for that?
It's been good. Sarr's a tremendous player. He's a great rebounder. I think he's top 15 in the country in offensive rebounding percentage, and I think he's top 25 in defensive rebounding percentage, which you don't see that very often in both areas. So he's long, he's big, he's skilled, he's got great touch, he can block shots. We recruited him a long time ago. I think he's from France, I believe, but tremendous player. Tyreek isn't nearly as tall as he is, and so he's got to be able to use his strength and his toughness to match his size and length.
As the reigning Big East Player of the Week and the performance you just saw him have against the Bearcats, but it's your job as a head coach to always push your players to get the most out of them. What would you like to see the next level of evolution for Najee?
I think it starts with that word consistency. And it starts in practice, and he's been great in practice this week. Not good, he's been great. And I just think having that mindset every single day. I always say everybody wants to be LeBron James till you have to be LeBron. It's hard. It is hard to be on top of your game every single night. And being at the top of the scouting report, it's hard. And I want to see that consistency. We need that out of Najee. He's capable of doing that. We got to get that out of him on both ends of the floor. And a lot of people have said, hey, how good he was offensively, but defensively, he was dominant against UC. And we need that every single possession, every single night, no matter where we're playing, for us to have a chance to be a really good team.
The break for finals, did it kind of come at a perfect time for you guys? Your big rival, you have them here, all the emotion that goes into that, you're able to kind of take a breath before you kind of finish off non-conference play.
Yeah, I think so. That's why we kind of scheduled it the way we did. Obviously we took a couple extra days off this week from practice just to focus on finals, to finish strong in the semester. But at the same time, you don't want to have a lull. We can't sleepwalk through this game. We got to be ready to play against Wake Forest. And Wake, like I said, they're very talented. They're talented enough to beat anybody. They had Arizona down to the wire on a neutral court site out in Anaheim a few weeks ago. And Arizona's a really talented team. So, we have to be ready to go.
Where's that balance with Q? You're obviously a much better team if he's scoring the ball, but in terms of just being a point guard and kind of settling into that role of just captaining the offense, where's that balance for him?
Yeah, I think that's the thing that he does best is finding guys. And I think sometimes everybody tells you what your weaknesses are, right? And you want to prove people wrong. And Q has worked on his shot a lot during his time here at Xavier. But the best thing he does is find guys. It is, and he had 8 assists, 2 turns against UC. That's what we need out of Quentin Gooden for us to be a really good team. And if we get that, and plus the defensive side, which he did a great job against UC, the focus, the intensity, then I think we got a chance to be really, really good. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want Quentin to score. I want him to take open shots. I want him to drive the ball. If the game tells him to score, if nobody helps, then he should finish. If the guy helps, he needs to kick the ball. Do what the game tells you to do.
To this point of the year, and it's a really small sample size, but we're still seeing what the extended three-point line has, how it's affected scoring in the game thus far. How does it affect the game as a coach as far as spacing and what you guys are trying to do?
I think it changes the game in a big way. You look across the country, it's down 2 percentage points, which is big. People say, it's not that big. That's a big drop. So it is. It changes things defensively. It changes things offensively as well. I think we're shooting better now than we were at the beginning of the year. Our numbers are a little skewed just because the first 3 games, I could have punted a few in more than we made. But we're getting better. Again, I think we're around a 33, 34% three-point shooting team. I think that's where we'll end up being. But I do think, offensively, it changes your space on the floor. And, again, I always say your shooting is your spacing, though. Right? Again, the more you can shoot, the more space you do have on the floor. And again, the less that they'll be crowded and tight to drive the ball. So it's affected both our offensive and defensive schemes for sure.
Kiki's got a couple of games and practices under his belt. Where do you see him at?
We got to continue to grow his role. I've said it before. Kiki he's got a gift to score the ball. He's got a gift to shoot the ball. We got to get him caught up on the defensive end. Which, again, he's more than capable, but it's more than just, guarding your man, at this level. It's transition defense and ball screen defense is a lot more complicated than it is at the high school level, and you got to get those habits. And once the game slows down for him defensively, I think he'll really take off because we need his scoring on the floor.
Is that common for big guys who score a lot in high school, they come to this level? Those are the areas that they're typically going to be.
Yeah, and I think for anybody, man, freshman, it is hard. Sometimes you're just trying to tread water, trying to figure out the difference between up and down. And Kiki was out of practice for over a month. So that set him way back on that end of the floor. But we'll get him there. Again, it just takes extra reps, extra film. And he wants to be on the floor. He wants to impact our team in a big way, and he's capable of doing that.
You can scheme a lot of things as a coach during practice, but I don't know if adversity is something that you can really scheme with this true road game, first true road game, as you mentioned. Is that something that you kind of welcome, having to face, a hostile environment?
Yeah, it's something we talk about all the time. I think it's good to talk about it, and so that they know that they can prepare themselves mentally for the moments that are about to happen tomorrow at Wake Forest. We've faced some adversity this year, whether it was here at home, albeit versus Missouri, whether it was on the road at UConn or on the neutral site versus UConn. But this is the first true road game, and again, you're going to have how many ever fans are in there. Again, I imagine 99% of them is going to be Wake Forest fans, and you can't let that or allow anybody to take your mind. You got to be able to execute our offensive and defensive system through adversity, stick together, whether, you may get a couple bad calls, may get 2 fouls in. Are you still here, present, leading, have a voice, energy, or are you the guy that's kind of drifting off in the huddles? So I'm excited to see what we're made of, and this will really tell a lot about who we are. And obviously, we're going to have a lot of things to clean up, I know, from this game, but it tells us a lot about who we are. Thank you.